even make any pretense about it. All right, we are going live. Here. We are live. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Dana, the Angry Citizen, coming to you live. Today is Sunday, the 2nd of January, 2022, and I'm joined by my good friend, beloved ally, Ohio Brett, who is fighting the good fight on behalf of the forces of the light against the darkness and the tyranny that we are currently facing. Pretty much most of you, hopefully all of you that are listening and watching, know what I'm talking about. And I have been working with Brett in the capacity of attempting to uh, unite and assemble all the forces of all the people, like-minded folks that are opposed to tyranny, that value our Constitution and our rule of law, and want to live as free men and women as God intended here in America. And I'm super, super proud to have him as an ally because I have found him to be a man of his word, a man of honor, and I truly believe, a man of God. So first off, welcome, Brett. Always good to see you.
Dana, it's great to see you. The Angry Citizen. I am so glad to be back on live with you. Happy New Year.
Thank
It
you.
was one of my greatest joys of last year, Dana, was when I had the opportunity to go to Maine. Had a chance to blitz all 16 counties in Maine. But one of the special days was when I met you in Brewer, and we had an awesome face to
We did.
face,
We did. It was
a
awesome.
wonderful lunch, and a beautiful time up at the monument where we put our boxes of bayonets away because we may have to use them again. We may have to peacefully charge down the hill.
AKA Joshua Chamberlain, for folks. Look him up if you don't know who Joshua Chamberlain is. Look him up because the man was pretty amazing. A really great representative of the state of Maine. So we're going to be talking today about a couple things. First of all, Brett is one of the initiators of a movement which is known as the Christian Revolution, and you can check out christianrevolution.net in your browser to get information about that and see what it's all about. And also, Brett and I were talking yesterday, which is the reason he's joining me now, because we had talked about another initiative that he is pursuing, which is National Celebrate Freedom Day, which is going to be January 6th in honor of the demonstration that was held in Washington on January 6th. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. I want to preface the discussion this way. Most of you, if you've watched any of my videos or know anything about me, you know I do not call myself a Christian, and I do not go to church, and I haven't really read all that much of the Bible and so forth. But I'm a man of reason and logic, and right now we're living in end times. If you read the Bible and you read the last books of the Bible and all about end times, everything they're saying is happening right now. My favorite quote is, "They will not believe the evidence of their eyes and their ears," and that's what we're seeing happening. We're seeing people who are seeing all sorts of things happening around them and denying that it's happening, and telling you that there's nothing wrong. Well, there's something very, very wrong. So my friendship with Brett is not born out of an attachment due to religious reasons. It's purely because I respect the man, because he's earned my respect, and the things he's saying, I like the things he's saying. I like his initiatives, and going to be super excited to see this work out, because it's going to be a national event that will just simply say to the powers that be that we, the people, are in charge. They're not in charge. We're showing them it's our country, not yours and your rich benefactors. We, the people, dictate what happens, and we, the people, have rights, and those rights are clearly described and in the Constitution. So we are constitutional Americans, and we stand behind the Constitution, and we insist that it be honored. So first of all, ChristianRevolution.net. Give us the skinny on that.
Well, Dana, uh, first of all, when we met, it was referred to me that you were one of the great Mainers that I needed to introduce myself to. So I did my homework on you, and I started following you ever since. And it was great to share that day in Maine in early July. And we've been connected pretty much ever since.
Yes.
As I've followed you on social media, and what a worthy teammate you are,
Thank you.
that we're out there sharing truth We have to connect others to help and truth. That's what we do. We're both constitutional Americans, and we're gonna seek that first, and then the truth is what is being censored. The truth is what's being attacked. That's one of my greatest frustrations, is that I believe, Dana, the worst kind of bully in the world tries to silence the opposing view.
Yes.
I want to repeat that for your international audience. The worst kind of bully in the world tries to silence the opposing view. They don't say, "Well, I have a position here, but please let me hear what your thoughts are," and the consumers will make a wise choice for themselves. Well, that's not happening. It's not
Absolutely.
happening in pretty much every single category. But right now, it is very serious because we're dealing with some issues with forced medical action on people around the world, not just in America. But
Yes.
America used to be that shining beacon on the hill for us to be the example. So I'm actually embarrassed that other countries are leading the way and rallying and getting out and peacefully non-complying. They're kind of showing us the way, Dana.
It's
So
true.
we need to get in the game. And that's actually a little bit how thechristianrevolution.net was born. That I was at a conference in Ohio. I was a kickoff speaker, and I had asked a question to some other leaders that I really respected. And the question was, who's funding good? Who is funding good? Because we remember what's really happened around the world, and over the last couple of summers in America, we saw chaos. It seemed to me that the Lucifer-led elites were paying people that don't live in certain cities, busing them in, giving them money, giving them hotel rooms, delivering bricks to certain spots in the city,
Yep.
and they were told where to go pick them up and destroy our neighborhoods, our businesses,
Yes.
and we just saw chaos.
Yes.
And so it was on my heart, who the heck is funding good? Well, we said, why not us? You look to the right, you look to the left. I look at pastors, they're not funding good. I look at elected officials on the right and the left. This isn't just the left, it's the right and the
Exactly.
left.
Exactly. Both sides.
Unfortunately, Dana, it seems to me that Lucifer, he's been around for a long time, from the Garden of Eden, the seed of the serpent versus the seed of the woman. He controls both sides at the elite levels. That's my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
It seems to me that evil controls the media, they control the propaganda, and people are in such a deep fog that when presented with the truth, that you would think any common person would at least take a time out before they do something. That's not happening.
No.
So none of us were wealthy, and Coach Dave is my partner with the Christian Revolution, and your international audience can find him. I want to encourage them to go to CoachDaveLive.com, CoachDaveLive.com. He is so worthy of support, and he's doing things on a live show Monday through Friday, every weekday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. You'll hear things that you'll never hear at the workplace. You'll never hear them in the sporting arenas, and you'll never hear them in churches. And wow, is that truth, open conversation, so worthy. So we joined up, and now we're running the ChristianRevolution.net. We're super old. We're 4 months old. We launched in September 1st, and the whole vision was to fund good projects. And Dana, we've given out over $330,000 in 4 months.
Excellent.
That's money out the door in 6 categories. We don't want to invent anything, but I believe, I'm a God-fearing man, and I believe God led this vision on my heart very clearly in 2004 that I was going to travel to all 50 states and connect others to help and truth and give out money. I had no idea what that vision meant, but I had to walk it out, and now here we are. 2022. I'm in a position now with the company, the ChristianRevolution.net, that I'll be traveling by faith to all 50 states. Since September 1st, I've already been to 15. So we're knocking them off. We're learning about men and women and organizations that are standing up for good versus evil right in their town, in their state. And Dana, there's 6 categories I want to share. There's lawfare. Our first our first grants were given out to some attorneys. One of them was Tom Renz out of Ohio, who has been making a name for himself, standing up against this medical tyranny and forced mandates with the masks and the experimental shots. Lawfare is a category. The second category is health and wellness and medical, and that's a big category right now. It's obviously a very, very hot topic, and we're sensitive to that. The next category is we do want to learn about those people who are on Team Jesus, those who have been standing up for Jesus outside of the 4 walls of the church. You know, I have a sports background, so sports is an area of focus, music, and education. Those are the 6 categories that we want to learn about those, and then we find out about them, or they can apply, they can contact us. Since we're only 4 months old, everything's happening so quickly. Um, your followers can go out to the website, thechristianrevolution.net. They can read the open letter to the world. That's our homepage. And if you like what we're doing for good versus evil, we ask for you to pray, give, and share. Pray over us. This is, people do not want this connection to happen. They don't want truth to get out. They don't want funding for good versus evil. Pray over it. And if you feel led to give, you can give $10, $20, $100 or more, whatever is in your easy button amount, and then share it with everybody you know. So that's really how we're getting the word out, Dana. We don't have any marketing budget. We have no budget. And it's exciting to be on the front lines and being obedient to God's call on my life.
So that concept that you're describing is a concept that I have embraced myself, and that some of my allies and I have talked about this, because there may be, 100 million people out there, all of whom want the same things that we want, and don't necessarily know exactly what to do. And if they all threw in a buck, think about that, right, folks? Consider that America, $100 million. Boom, $1 each. So the concept works, and putting that money to use, getting the truth out to people, and cutting through the propaganda, the media propaganda, because for those who don't know, the media is entirely owned by a small, wealthy group of very dark people who are obscuring the truth. They are hiding the truth because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know the truth about your rights, the Constitution, the history of our nation, and they don't want you to know the truth about this horrible plague that is supposedly sweeping the earth, killing people in droves. So
well, we're standing up for that truth, Dana, and we're on the front lines with that. And nobody
good.
denies that the flu is real. The flu has been
It
around
is.
for a long time.
People
It's
are
going to
getting
be
sick.
around for a long time, and they will get sick.
Yep.
The good news is there are cheap treatments and protocols that you can do to protect yourself. And the early onset of that flu, if you don't let it fester, you have no matter what, it's a 99% survival rate if you even get the flu. So how in the world did politics get involved? And this issue was so politicized, and the love of money and weak leaders on the right and the left. It's not just the left. I am so excited for when I'm out traveling, Dana, I call it we the people in the middle, is center left and center right. They are who, and I know that you laugh when I say this, but they're for God, family, country, and sports.
It's true.
And
Did I
they
show
have
you this?
equal love.
Did I show you my group paradigm visual aid? I don't know if you can see it because the light's pretty bright, but so this is a representation of any group of people of mankind. You have people on one side, you have people on the other side that have extreme beliefs. So you got one guy who's entirely red, one guy who's entirely blue, and then everyone else in between them falls somewhere on the scale. And this is actually, we the people are the majority. The people that are extremists are actually very small quantity or percentage of the people of our nation, but they're the loudest. They're the ones that are the most loudly screaming that, we're right and they're wrong, we're good, they're bad. Everything we say is right and wonderful and should be done, and if we could just run the country, it would be run perfectly. When they run the country, everything goes to hell, and they're horrible, and everyone's caught in between all of this conflict. and a lot of these people don't vote because they get discouraged. They say, why, it doesn't matter, that they have the lesser of two evils paradigm. Every time there's an election, they get discouraged and they stop getting involved and stop being informed. And that what we need all these people to wake up and get involved at every level: local level, county level, state level, national level, and start writing these letters and making phone calls to all the elected servants and let them know that we're in charge. They're not.
Well, you and I were talking about that yesterday, and I want to encourage everybody, as my dad encourages me, very rarely should you use the words never and all. All Democrats aren't evil. All
Right.
Republicans aren't evil. But it's up to us to make them accountable. And all of your
Thank you.
viewers need to know that, man, you encourage me so much. And it takes effort and energy to contact, make a phone call, send an email, and have any elected official on the right or the left. Hey, are you going to follow the Constitution? Are you a constitutional American? Hey, I'd like for you to, we want to document that because we're going to hold you accountable.
Yes.
Yes, we want to learn your position on these issues, but that's a heck of a place to start. And
Absolutely.
Dana, the division and the lies, that's one of the things that we're breaking free from. Coach Dave and I made the decision that we were going to take on January 6th. We weren't going to encourage people to go back to January 6th and peacefully assemble like they did last year. And what really happened on that day? Well, I believe that on that day, there's so much video and truth that's come out. I believe by faith that we can hold our elected officials on the right and the left accountable because they need to explain what did they have access to? What informants were they infiltrating? Was it the FBI? Was it the CIA? What really happened on that day? Well,
Agreed.
in the future, we should have town hall meetings and we should just be good listeners. What really happened on that day? Dana, what really happened to our elections? What really happened to our churches? What really happened to our families, our schools, our governments? What really happened to our freaking morals in America? And what happened to those elected officials that said they were going to honor the Constitution as their baseline foundation?
Thank you.
What really happened?
Thank you. And I don't want to hear any of these people. I got a letter from Angus King once, our senator here in Maine, whom I despise. And it started with something along the lines of, your rights have, he didn't say limitations. I have to find the letter. It's something like, your rights aren't absolute or something like that. And I was just like, if that's how you're going to start your damn letter to me, wow, are we on a bad path? That's the wrong thing to say to me right off the bat in a letter, is how my rights are not absolute. Because first of all, they pretty much are absolute, and second of all, you swore an oath, Angus King. You swore an oath before God to uphold and defend the Constitution, and you have perjured your oath. Every time you vote in some legislation and make it a law that violates the Constitution, boom, you just perjured your oath, and as far as I'm concerned, you're a criminal, and we should see them held accountable. And Brett, people want to see that. Most of America wants to see these people held accountable. And
That's
so it's
right.
time for us to assemble and get everybody on the same page and make it happen, because TikTok, man, time is wasting.
Well, with that sports background that I bring to the table, I'm so comfortable out there networking and recruiting. I'm recruiting.
Yes,
and
you are.
yes, I am out there recruiting, and I'm recruiting constitutional Americans. I'm recruiting center left and center right. There's never been a better time to unite. And the nice thing that we're doing with the ChristianRevolution.net is everything is being done in a peaceful and orderly manner. We are allowed to get together. We are allowed to
Amen.
lay down our politics.
Yep.
That's one of the big things that anybody watching this, please go to thechristianrevolution.net. You'll see a big red box there that says learn more about Celebrate Freedom Day. You can click on that box, and it explains that we're asking you to not go back to Washington, D.C., but find a spot in your town. It may be a church. It may be the elementary school. It may be the courthouse. It may be any spot that you want in your town that has a parking lot. Meet in the parking lot. And Dana, the great thing about this is we're not trying to, everybody wants to know where Ohio Brett and Coach Dave are going to be on January 6th. It doesn't matter. We're not trying to get 50,000 people to one location. If we wanted to do that, we'd get a heck of a lot more than 50,000 in one location. But this, God led on my heart. Wait a minute. Let's unite. Let's ask everybody to lay down your politics. When you show up on this day, please, no Trump flags, no FJB flags, no Let's Go Brandon, no Biden flags. Lay down your politics on this day.
Amen.
We got to
No
unite.
politics.
Because
get rid of the
no
politics. We are constitutional Americans. If you're a constitutional American and you want to see your rights preserved and your children's rights and your grandchildren's rights, get out and make your voice heard.
Make your voice heard and build relationships, because once you meet up in the parking lot, and I don't care, we have groups that'll have 5 people there, 50 people there, 10 people there. We got a couple large groups that'll have 500 people, but we already have hundreds of leaders that have emailed in and said that I want information. I'll host a spot in my town. And I just got off the phone with the guy from Hawaii, so we'll be representing Hawaii. I don't know if we'll have all 50 states, but we're inviting people in all 50 states to lay down their politics. Hey, get to know your neighbor. We're suggesting doing it over the noon lunch hour on this Thursday, January 6th. I know it'll be cold in Maine, but you can meet up together and in a parking lot. Here's the real simple formula. The last half hour is going to be basically what we call a honk and wave. We want you to bring your American flag, appeal to heaven flag, and with the sports theme, hey, bring your sports flag, bring your New England Patriots or Boston Red Sox or the Ohio State Buckeyes flags, anything, because aren't those fan bases filled up with center left and center right? Of course they are.
Absolutely.
So bring it on, and we're going to stand together. No foul language, no bad signs. Wow, there's a good sign for you. I love America.
There you go.
I love the Constitution.
There you go.
I love my neighbor. Go USA. I love Jesus. I love the Browns. Get out there together and wave at people and get to know your neighbor, because you're not the enemy. Now, the Lucifer-led elites, and many of them are elected officials at the highest levels in our government.
Yes.
They try to divide us all they can. So that's one of the great things that we can do with the Christian Revolution and celebrate Freedom Day, is we're breaking free from all that divides us. This isn't about necessarily the election or what really happened on January 6th with the infiltration, how our own government turned on its own good people and opened the doors and let people in when they knew they were going to be excited and they knew that they would walk in somewhere that they shouldn't have been. We will have our town hall meetings on that later. But right now, celebrate Freedom Day. We are uniting and we are breaking free from all that divides us. And Dana, real quickly, it's meant to be, even if you grab a couple buddies over the lunch hour and go out at noon, here's the simple agenda. And it's so simple, anybody can do it. You're going to show up there that day in the parking lot that you pick, whether it's 2 buddies, 5 buddies, or 50 people or more. And the local leader is going to welcome everybody. Hey, guys, thanks for showing up. Want to encourage you on this day, and find someone to open in prayer. Someone's going to open in prayer. Find somebody to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I think we could find somebody to do that in towns all over America. And then for all those people who have contacted us through the website, and you can go right on the website, and that email will come directly to me. I send you the sample instructions in an email. We're asking for 2 local leaders to talk for about 5 minutes on 2 topics. Number 1, why I am proud of America. I think that we could find somebody in that town to talk for 5 minutes on why they're proud. We are Americans. They might want to talk about the Constitution. They can talk about whatever they want. And then the second person, we want to talk about why family matters to me. I believe we can find somebody that can talk about why family matters to me, because really what we're doing, Dana, is we're having a family get together, center left, center right. We're all coming together. We're one big family. Now that family's trying to be ripped apart by Lucifer-led evil, but we're going to get busy on uniting us. And then if they want to, there's an optional Jericho March component. They can walk one time around the church, walk one time around the high school. A lot of people are going to be meeting up at college football stadiums or pro football stadiums where they're allowed to. They can walk around and then go stand for a half hour. And you can be done at 1 o'clock. But you do whatever you want. These are just suggestions. We just know people have already, it's not going viral yet. I would say viral would be when we had 1 million people, but we already have hundreds of local leaders all over America that are hosting these events, Dana, on Celebrate Freedom Day.
Amen. Well said. Several things occurred to me while you were talking. I think the most important one, the one I really want to cover, is that I've had this discussion with you, and I've had it with some of my other allies, which is that there are way more people in America who are aware that things aren't right and that the things we're being told don't actually make sense, but they don't know what to do. Okay, their perception is, and this is an accurate perception, that our government is so riddled with corruption, which it is, that there's nothing that can be done, and that's not actually true. If as soon as we the people all collectively make our voices heard and demand accountability and transparency, it will happen. But if there's only a few of us doing it, it's not going to go anywhere, and that's where we've been for a while. You and I have been fighting, swimming against the current for how long now, and we're not going to stop. Okay, I'm not going to just give up and drown. I'll swim no matter what, okay, and I know you will too. But the trick is that if the people understand the potential that there are so many other people out there that are probably feeling the same way that you're feeling, and you don't know it because they don't talk about it, because they're constantly being bombarded with propaganda that's telling them that this is this and that is that, and they don't dare to reach around to the people around them and say, this doesn't make sense to me. Does this make sense to you? So that they can either go, no, this is not making sense to me. These things do not make sense.
That's right.
And something's not right, and we do need to do something, or we're going to lose our freedoms. We're going to become a communist, totalitarian regime, and that needs to stop. So
that's right. Well, your voice of reason and your voice of truth, that's what, as we recruit and we get to know each other, we can drive them to those videos, to how the truth really gets out. Now, one of the things we don't have is we do not have the mainstream media. We do not have the commercials that go on. I want to vomit when I'm watching the football games over bowl season, and they have the audacity to have these administrators get on there pushing and encouraging and bullying people to take experimental shots and put their risk at health. They're not getting the truth about what these what's even in
with no informed consent.
That's right.
Informed consent. They don't even bother to mention these horrific possible side effects, and that should terrify anyone. Any rational human being should look at that and say, whoa, hold on, that doesn't make sense. You're not even going to tell me that it might kill me? I mean, come on, folks. That's not right.
The fog is thick. There's no doubt about it. The fog is thick. Yep. And sometimes I want to encourage you, Dana, because I know sometimes you need to recharge the batteries, and sometimes you just need to take a week off so you can get ready. I'm the same way. And we're not the only ones out there. There are so many great leaders, coast to coast, border to border. They seem like they're in their own silo, but we're getting to know each other.
Agreed.
That's one of the great gifts of travel. I want to encourage everybody to get out and travel. I want to encourage everybody to follow Dana and the Angry Citizen and all the great work that he's doing, and so many great guest speakers that he has on just to share the truth. Don't believe what Ohio Brett says. Go check me out. Go to thechristianrevolution.net. Go to my website, ohiobrett.com. I've been a speaker for a long time where community leaders and parents would ask for me to come to their town. I would come, and I'd spend the whole day speaking. I'll start off with the freshman class. Love going to speak to the career and technical kids. Give a little pep rally for the middle school kids. My mom was an elementary school teacher, so I love reading to the third graders. I like encouraging small business owners because it's been a little challenging over the last couple years with big government and our politicians deeming them non-essential. Well, I will stand up with them. I love encouraging our veterans and those families who are struggling with the disease of addiction and maybe a loss of a loved one through opioids or alcohol addiction or any other evil that's out there. And yes, as a follower of Jesus Christ, I do enjoy finding a church at night or sometimes maybe a golf course where we can be in the banquet hall. And then Ohio Brett can share my faith based testimony of what I believe Jesus Christ did on the cross, not just for me, but for all who believe by faith alone. So that's called an Ohio Brett Community Day. I've been doing that for a long time, Dana. I'm nobody famous. I'm not trying to be famous. I am trying to encourage and grow the body of Christ wherever I go and connect others to help and truth. So that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my earthly days.
You're doing a bang up job, my friend. I truly mean that. I'm so honored to know you and count you as a friend and an ally. I love you dearly and thank you for everything you've done and all your kind words. And
Well,
God brought us together for a
Dana,
reason.
the thing that I'm hoping for is I hope it snows on Thursday, and you're going to send me pictures of you going outside in your barefoot, so I know that we got a barefoot warrior out there on Celebrate Freedom Day. Even if you take your son out there, go out there for 5 minutes and say, "Son, why does family matter to you?" I'm going to share a few things about why I'm proud of America. That's as simple as it could get. And that is planting a flag. Dana, we think that we can plant flags in all 50 states on Celebrate Freedom Day. It doesn't have to be big. This is just the start of it all.
Yep.
Don't forget, God is giving us strategies to recruit and unite we, the people
Yes.
in the middle, center, left, center, right.
Yep.
We're just one of the strategies out there. So you'll hear me talking about Celebrate Freedom Day this Thursday. We already have in plans for Celebrate Family Day, which will happen second quarter 2022. And then we'll do something once a quarter. So that'll be 4 events a year. And then we're looking at getting involved in concerts and speaking programs. And it's real simple, folks. If you like what we're doing, pray over us, give if you can, and share. And
Amen.
share. And thechristianrevolution.net. And one of the things I do love, I think it's so important. You'll see on our homepage, you can click on grants, Dana, and you'll see that we've already given out $330,000 worth of grants to 25 grantees. They're all listed right there. We think that's very important. And then as a transparency is so important. And as a business, we chose the form as a business because number one, I didn't want anything to do with the government. I don't want to be begging for some 501c3 determination letter from the IRS. We'll form as a business and we'll let everybody know, very similar to a super PAC, if they choose to give. Not one gift is tax deductible, but what they're doing is they're funding. They want good funded versus evil. Amen. Good versus evil.
Yep.
And then the other thing, since we do raise dollars, and I'm our lead fundraiser as I travel across the country, I think the public deserves to know where the heck the money goes.
Yes.
So we're upfront and honest.
Good.
We believe by faith that we're not going to do it the normal way that foundations or other groups, grant giving groups do. We decided to go and try to make it work on a very lean margin, 20% operating costs as we try to build a business that will impact all 50 states, and 80% goes out in grants every single month. That's as transparent as we can get. And it makes me sick to learn some of the stories of some of these other foundations or organizations that the legal threshold is giving out 10% of dollars raised.
Right.
Can you imagine somebody who has...
they'll do it. There are ones that will do it. Like
it's
the
sick.
Susan Komen Foundation gives 10% of
makes
it
me
goes to
sick.
research. The other 90% they just pay themselves to fundraise all the time.
It is disgusting.
Yeah,
and is. So you can look that stuff up on Charity Navigator, Charitable Navigator. There's websites that you can go see. So before you give your dollars to anybody, you should do your own homework. And so that's why I love the fact that that's as easy as it gets, giving full transparency, showing people where the money goes, showing them where the grants have been given. And we know that we're all over the target. We had a great sponsor, Dana, and he's become a great mentor. Wano Savin is an influencer, and he's in the battle for constitutional Americans, and he took a liking to this project, and he helped get us started by taking us to Buffalo and then to Oklahoma, and then we went to North Carolina. That was all in the first 8 days of September.
Nice.
So that was a heck of a blitz, and we're running strong. But I want to encourage you, Dana. Everything that you're doing in Maine, your reach is around the world. I want to salute you. I love catching up with you, and I can't wait to see you soon for lunch.
Amen. So, first of all, ChristianRevolution.net. Check it out. If you folks are not familiar with Coach Dave, CoachDaveLive.com. Though I'm not a Christian, I've listened to quite a bit of what Coach Dave has to say, and a lot of it makes sense to me. OhioBrett.com. And I'm going to be doing also, you had mentioned a couple things about uniting all these things, and I've created a pretty large database of resources, and one of the podcasts I'm going to do as soon as I can here is going to be, I'm going to lay all those out. So I'm going to tell everybody about all of the resources that I have found, all the freedom fighters that are out there, all the groups, movements, organizations, try to get everybody to kind of work together and communicate. And that's been a miserable task, but it's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen if I have to die trying. So you'll see that coming soon. Ohio Brett, thank you.
Well, I stand beside you.
I know you
thank
do,
you,
my
Dana.
friend. Thank you. Seriously.
I'm ready to go.
One of the only people who calls me back when I call him or gets in touch. If I send him a text message, I know he will get back to me. This is not true of a lot of people, folks, including a lot of my allies. It's very frustrating, but I know if I call Ohio Brett, he will get back to me. He will call me and text me, so I consider that huge. You're a man of honor. You're a man of your word. I respect you a lot for that, so thank you for joining me today. Really appreciate it, man, and God bless you, and good luck.
Well, I respect you, and I will say that we don't need luck in this journey because luck is for Lucifer. God doesn't need luck.
Okay.
So,
right.
hey, Dana, I had a mentor. I used to say that all the time. Hey, man, best wishes to you. Good luck. And he said, hey, Brett, come here. You know, hey, God doesn't need luck, man. That luck is of Lucifer. So I said, what? No, my intentions were good. I was just trying to wish good intentions. He goes, no. But once truth is revealed, that's the beauty about truth. Once truth is revealed, you know it in your heart. And that's why I'm so excited that we can organize and unite and recruit. Center left, center right, we the people, we're going to get that truth out there, that we can hold these elected officials accountable on the right and the left.
We can.
And there's actually good ones on both sides, and we need to free them up to do their job
and celebrate them
reward
and know
them.
that they have our support, so that when they do these things and the wealthy elite controlled ones that are already there get very angry at them and try to portray them as being bad, terrible people for speaking truths and wanting to hold them accountable, we need to say, no, you're wrong, they're right. So
that's right, Dana. Well, I salute you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you. So, to all my viewers, God bless you. Thank you for your patronage. Really appreciate it. And Angry Citizen out. I'll be back soon. Take care, everyone. And we're out.